Monique and Cat Williams tried to warn Shannon.
This dating thing, Mo, is different now. When you and I...
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
But you tried to say, what you tried to say, Mo?
I'm looking right at you,
I know
I'm
you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get you an old out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young and you can't do it, Shannon.
And I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
Shannon Sharpe has been accused of sexual assault in a civil lawsuit filed in Clark County, Nevada by Tony Buzbee on behalf of his client, Gariella Zuniga, popularly known as Carly on OnlyFans. We'll get back to why it is a civil instead of a criminal lawsuit in a moment, because there seems to be a pattern here. Zuniga's OnlyFans subscription is set at around $13 to access around 71 pieces of content intended for mature audiences only. Shannon won 3 Super Bowls across a 15-year-long NFL career, received for first-team All-Pro and 8 Pro Bowl selections between playing for the Broncos and the Ravens.
Sharpe, touchdown!
My goodness, how do you get that wide open?
He was outstanding. I don't know if there was a better tight end.
For Shannon Sharpe, what a huge day.
I'm the best Sharpe. Don't forget it, bro.
Elway to throw, loops it into the corner, and it's a touchdown. Shannon Sharpe. That is his first NFL touchdown.
Elway is throwing on 2nd and 10. Looking for the tight end, and it's Shannon Sharpe for the first down. What a grab.
Elway again, with all kinds of time. He got 24 yards on the play to Shannon Sharpe.
Elway with the time, throwing deep, and he has Shannon Sharpe in the open field. And Sharpe is caught from behind.
Play action fake. That's all the time in the world. Goes deep, has a man. He underthrows it, but it is still tied. Shannon Sharpe at the 21-yard line.
A little shift down on the goal line. One expects a roll this way. Sharpe. Oh, he still caught it. Shannon Sharpe maintaining his concentration, able to rip it back and score a most unusual touchdown.
Open is Sharpe. No one picked him up. Shannon Sharpe to the 27-yard line of Kansas City. Just what the doctor ordered for Denver.
They're down. Elway looking for 11 yards or more. He's got it to Shannon Sharpe. That's a touchdown. Nobody touched him when he was down. Are they going to give the signal? It is a touchdown. He went down at the 1, but no defender touched him to officially down him. Elway wide open to Sharpe for the touchdown.
Back out just a few seconds before we came out of the commercial break. He was not looking. He ducks there. He goes deep. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
2nd and 6. Elway guns it down the middle, complete to Shannon Sharpe. A courageous catch at the 46-yard line. Elway. Sharpe has a man wide open. You called it, Shannon Sharpe.
Hosts the Club Shay Shay podcast that has seen some of the biggest names from different fields appear on the platform. The podcast has over 4 million subscribers on YouTube, numbers that have put him in a position to allegedly negotiate deals for his network of shows, the cumulative figure reaching around $100 million, which is more than he ever made during his football career. According to Spotrac, Shannon made $22,328,500 with his highest-paying season in 2000 being with the Ravens when he made $5 million. The Hall of Famers media deal with Colin Cowherd's The Volume podcast network has expired, and Sharpe has reportedly received several offers for his talents and is expected to agree to a deal that could exceed up to $100 million. Shannon partnered with The Volume in August 2023, several months after leaving FS1's Undisputed, where he broke out opposite Skip Bayless.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is officially my last day at work. After 7 years, the train stops for Shannon Sharpe and Undisputed right here. And over 7 years, I've made a lot of friends, and I'd like to take the time now to thank some of these people. First, I'd like to thank Fox and FS1 for giving me this opportunity, for believing in me, and allowed me to share this stage with a young man that I've sat across from for 7 years. I want to thank you. I want to thank my original boss, Jamie Horowitz, who got on a plane, came down in Atlanta, and told me I could be a star. You can do this. You can sit across from Skip Bayless and do this. I see it in your eyes. I see the passion in which you talk. You can do this. Thank you. I want to thank the ladies in the makeup room. I started out with Sevia, and then went to Jumpsuit and Uke, and then Brett, and then Jumpsuit, and back to Brett, and even her aunt would fill in sometimes. Guys, you've been amazing. To Nusheen Faraji, who never colored my hair or given me a haircut, but had all these great ideas. I'm going to really miss you and how you mispronounce words. The wardrobe room, Autumn and Tracy and all the others. Every day at 6:10, you would knock on the door. Can I help you with your cufflinks? Can I turn down your collar? Can I help you with your tie? Double tie, you did everything. I'm going to miss you guys, and hopefully you miss me as much as I miss you. Bonnie Lou in audio. You mic'd me up for 7 straight years, and it's been great. Sharing pictures, you show me your dogs, I show you my dogs. Bonnie, I just got one more question. What am I going to do with this 843 credit score? To all my stage managers, Johnny Lee, Karen, Craig, thank you. Craig, you've been unbelievable. You brought me my note for the last year. I want to thank you. Sometimes I get frustrated like, Craig, where are the damn notes? You say, just give me a minute. They haven't come through yet. To my producer, Steve Owens, we had 6 great years together, bro. I miss you more than you know. Thank you for how you handled me and gave me some great words of advice. But Ash, you knocked it out the park. I trust you more than anything. The way you can read me, the way you understand me, the way you say word it like this. There are times that I come up here and I'm like, we didn't talk about this, and you'd have notes that would help me in the debate. I'm going to miss you more than you ever know. Ah, my goodness. Who else do I want to thank? I want to thank the security. D, Cowboy Lover, Derek, every morning. You hug me this morning, I see you start to wail up, bro. I'm going to miss you also. Edo at the security front desk, I'm going to miss you also. Cent, my girl. Every day for 7 years, as I get off the elevator, you ask me, do I want anything? You would get me pancakes, you would get me bacon and scrambled eggs. And you would walk me down to my car. I want you to do it one last time for me, Cent. Give me some pancakes, get me some scrambled eggs, and give me some bacon. If I missed anybody, guys, I'm sorry. I just love everybody. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this. To the fans that made all this possible, you've embraced me and allowed me to become your favorite TV uncle. And for that, I'm forever grateful. You rock with me when you knew very little about Shannon Sharpe, the guy that could come out here and talk. Hopefully you found me entertaining. Hopefully you found me educational. Hopefully you found all the things that I gave you that you looked for when you came and you turned in and you watched me and this man for 7 years. And last but not least, Skip Bayless. You fought for me, bro.
Did I?
I'm here because of you. You've allowed me to share the stage with you. You've allowed me to share the platform. I'm going to cry in the car, but I'm not going to cry now. The opportunity that you gave me to become what I became, I'm forever indebted to you. I'll never forget what you did for me. You've helped me grow more than you ever know.
Okay, this is not easy for me either. But
one more thing before you go, Skip.
Okay.
One more thing. All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, you know I gave you everything I had.
You did.
I gave you everything I had.
Which is why I want to thank you for all you have given to me. When I first took this job back in June of 2016, we had a whole nother format in mind until it became clear Shannon Sharpe is available. And I said, I believe he can do this. And did you ever? The critics just savaged us when we first started. Undisputed will never last. FS1 will never last. Did we ever show them? I want to thank you for dedicating yourself to this job. It is a voracious beast of a show, day after day after day. You dedicated yourself to this job just the way you dedicated yourself to professional football as a Hall of Famer. I want to thank you for never taking a sick day. I want to thank you for preparing as hard as you could every single day, every single topic. I want to thank you for competing as hard as you competed with me, because the greatest compliment I can give you is you were a worthy adversary. I want to thank you and tell you that I love you for what you have done for me. And Shannon, I'm going to miss our Diet Do bets. You owe me a lot.
I do.
I'm going to miss our LeBron battles, even though he's still the phony GOAT. But I'm going to miss our Cowboy arguments. How about them Cowboys? Because you were right about my Dallas Cowboys from day one.
Right.
In the end, I just want you to know that it was because of you. You made possible a very, very special time in my career. And this is a happy, sad moment for me, because I look forward to your next great achievement, and it is coming.
Yep.
But tonight, I just want you to know, I will toast you with a Diet Mountain Dew.
Thank you.
Club Shay Shay immediately took off to become one of the biggest podcasts in sports and entertainment, particularly on YouTube, where it's a juggernaut. Nightcap with co-host Chad Okocinco Johnson also has a considerable audience. Any new deal agreed to will include all the shows on the Shay Shay network, not Sharpe's show alone. This includes Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. Following Sharpe's dramatic breakup with Skip Bayless on Fox Sports 1's Undisputed Show, the media personality partnered with The Volume in August 2023 to create Club Shay Shay. This Cat Williams interview has been one of the most popular one on the platform, reaching approximately 90 million views since being posted on January 3rd, 2024.
I suspect that we're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do. If you say somebody got special needs, then why would you be watching them and holding them accountable like everybody else? Wouldn't you grade them on a curve? Wouldn't you go, whew, this guy? Because, I mean, what are we reacting to? What are we reacting to? You're the one that put him in a position where he thought he was God and could call himself Jesus. And you're the one told a guy that writes musical lyrics that he was a genius. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's like, so what do you expect? The guy married a whore. Like, what?
Oh, Lord.
Like, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, married her because she was one. Not he didn't know. He understood that he wanted that. He courted that. That's what he wanted to base his family on.
She got a good heart, though. I know what you're going to say. Don't you say it, Cat. Don't you say it. I'm going to move the conversation.
If what I'm saying is not correct, then how does she end up with Pete Davidson?
I mean, it happens all the time.
And what if you weren't even good enough for Pete and he leaves you? What do that mean the product was? No, I don't support or villainize Kanye. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light. Because the people want to know, well, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing...
You will tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that. I value that. I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty. And they'll just go out and they'll lie. The industry doesn't mess with Cat because he didn't show up for the studio. No studios have ever said that. Look at my IMDb. It will show you that no studio has ever lost money with me on the script. How? That's why I'm saying, that's why I can't let Ricky Smiley say he was supposed to play Money Mike. Because I wrote the words for Money Mike. I designed the hair for Money Mike. I collaborated with the wardrobe department and made outfits to make sure that no one in America would be wearing what Money Mike was wearing. I told them to go get the Prowler. I then told them to paint it purple. I told them don't have an actor playing a pimp. We could get an actual pimp, Archbishop Magic Don Juan, to play. Like, I did far too much work for somebody to come years later and try to tag along just for their own self-aggrandizement. This is like Steve Harvey telling people he used to be homeless. That's my story. That's not his story. Steve Harvey wasn't never homeless. When Mark Curry was touring with him 25 years ago, he was making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is?
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
When I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian that's bitter and jealous. But in my face, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I've not taken the shortcuts. I've not been funded. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he had 7 TV shows. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Cat Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Cat Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big and it was Bernie and them's fault because they wanted to be movie stars. What? You called Ocean 11 to get that nigga's part. What do you mean you didn't want to be a movie star? So on the behalf of Bernie, I would have to say what I have to say.
Have you ever been on tour with any of these guys?
Every guy I mentioned to you is not funny out there in real life. So no. Faison's never done his own tour in 30 years. Steve Harvey don't do stand-up no more. Cedric doesn't write. I'm sorry, he doesn't write. Ricky Smiley has been playing the same old black woman forever. Like, you can't get a young fan base with that. Like, you gotta be doing karaoke around the country to make that work.
Right.
And he is. But I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my 19th 100-city tour. I'm not gonna have a conversation with these lazy bums that'll take a shortcut at any point. Yes, it's easier for you to juice than to get in the gym, but you don't get to bring that body in here talking crazy.
Talk about how good you look.
What? No, there's too many comics out there that are putting their life on the line to tell these jokes, man.
Okay. Let's get to your upbringing. We're gonna circle back and we'll get
I want to protect him real quick, because you had said for the Kings of Comedy, it was in 2018, 2019, but did you mean 1999? Because it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
No, I didn't. No. So what I meant to say was, remember, he said I couldn't do stand-up anymore. I had 7 TV shows. I said he didn't have any of those TV shows at the time.
I know you talking about Cedric.
Joke stealing from Cedric.
Cedric.
So
Okay,
you had said that 2018, 2019, but it came out in 2000, so I just want to make sure.
Okay, no. What comes out in 2000?
The original Kings of Comedy.
Right. I'm on BET's Comic View, and they're using this as the commercial in 1998. Okay. That's why I'm saying, yeah. So if I said the dates wrong,
Let's go back and clear that up.
Okay.
You said, I had Cedric on here, and I asked him about the joke stealing, and he said the timeline doesn't add up.
Correct.
To that point, you say.
Right. So he thought that I was just a no-name comedian and that he could take this joke and nobody would know.
Right.
The issue was that I had already done this particular joke on BET's Comic View twice.
Right.
It had done so well on BET's Comic View that they had made it part of the commercial. So part of the commercial of make sure you tune in to BET was you seeing me doing this joke.
Right.
And this joke is one of those jokes in comedy where you set it up and it takes a little longer to set it up, takes about 3 minutes, but then you're just hitting them with jokes after that because you don't have to set it up.
Right.
Mark Curry had already helped me work on this joke because I thought it was good because I was getting a standing ovation on it. He had me go back in the lab and help me craft it to be an even more powerful joke. So this is not just a random joke. This is my very best joke, and it's my last joke, and it's my closing joke.
Okay.
1998, I'm doing this joke. It's on Comic View. Cedric comes to the Comedy Store. He watches me in the audience. He comes backstage. He tells me what a great job I did and how much he loves the joke. 2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship. Him and Steve had already apologized for me, so I gave him a pass for a decade. Why would you sit here and be like, I saw Cat 30 times, and Cat didn't do, as I stand before you, Shannon, I would have bust Cedric's stomach. There was nothing that would have kept me from one of these in that patch right there. Like, are you kidding me? Why would you downplay me like that? Why did I give you a pass if you were just gonna lie? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, they're all a group. Cedric, Steve, Ricky, they've been a group. Everybody knows that. They've been aligned. And there are these alliances in comedy. And if you stand against them, then they sometimes have a problem. But we don't let that change the content because that's all you know me for, is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Get this. The recent lawsuit filed by Buzbee on behalf of Ms Zuniga suit seeks $50 million in compensatory and punitive damages. We'll get to that in a moment. Shannon is reportedly taking a temporary leave from ESPN in light of all these allegations. A statement from Shannon read, "At this juncture I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason." According to the lawsuit, Shannon used his fame to manipulate, control, and subjugate women. The accuser, who was 19 in 2023 when she met Shannon, said that they had a 2-year relationship, during which Shannon was allegedly aggressive and raped her, the most recent occurrence being January of 2025, the first occurrence being October of 2024. Ms. Zuniga alleges that their interactions were cordial at first, but they soon deteriorated, which culminated into emotional manipulation and disseminating the private recordings. She claims Shannon raped her multiple times, secretly recorded their encounters without her consent, and even threatened her life. In 2024, Shannon live-streamed the audio of an intimate encounter to his Instagram followers, which he later apologized, saying that he didn't know about the live feature being on. Ms. Zuniga was not involved in the broadcast but claims that the events were pretty embarrassing. According to the suit, Ms. Zuniga met Shannon at a Los Angeles gym and they had a consensual rocking relationship. After many months of manipulating and controlling the plaintiff, a woman more than 30 years younger than he is, and repeatedly threatening to brutally choke and violently slap her, Sharpe refused to accept the answer no and raped the plaintiff, despite her sobbing and repeated screams of no. The problem being, as it is increasingly appearing to be these days, the relationship didn't end after any of the alleged abuses happened. She kept going back and going back and going back. She also alleges that Shannon insisted on recording some of the sexual encounters, sometimes without her consent or knowledge, and shared the videos with friends and associates.
Now, the lawsuit was filed by attorney Tony Buzbee, who we know well, on behalf of his Jane Doe client. The suit says that Jane Doe met Shannon Sharpe at a gym in LA in early 2023 when she was 19 and Shannon Sharpe was in his 50s. Sharpe aggressively pursued her and she eventually gave him her number. But before the two of them even hang out, he apparently tries to get her to sign an NDA. She refuses to sign it, so he eventually stopped asking and invited her over. Jane Doe agrees to go over, and according to the complaint, the very first night was disturbing and unsettling. The suit says he opens the door and without saying a word just walks upstairs. She follows him, he goes into his bedroom and then points at the bed. He goes to the bathroom and then comes out, cuts out the lights and then lays in the bed. Jane Doe says she didn't know what to do, so she just lays in the bed with him, and then the two of them lay there for 10 minutes silently. And then after those 10 minutes, things started happening. The suit claims that at one point, Jane Doe realized that Shannon Sharpe was recording their encounter without her knowledge or her consent. And then the following day, Jane Doe comes back to Shannon Sharpe's house, but she gets there about 5 minutes after the time he told her to arrive. And so she says when she gets inside, he begins yelling at her, accusing her of disrespecting him and wasting his time. He then allegedly grabs her by her neck and then begins engaging with her. But this time he apparently tells her that he's going to end her life. And so, according to Jane Doe, this was the kickoff to the almost 2-year relationship that the two of them had, filled with control, physical, emotional, and psychological abuse. She notes that he once yelled at her while there was a firearm in the room, and because she was scared, she began sharing her location with her friends. But when Shannon Sharpe saw her sharing her location, he allegedly grabbed her by the neck and told her that if she did that again, he would end her life. The lawsuit says that in 2024, Shannon Sharpe and Jane Doe both moved to Vegas, but it notes that Shannon Sharpe apparently likes to claim that Jane Doe followed him to Las Vegas, but she says that's a lie and she went to Las Vegas for her own reasons. Okay, girl. The suit says in September of 2024, when Shannon Sharpe did that infamous live stream, that's my Michelle. Jane Doe began to pull away from him because her name ain't Michelle, and she thought the two of them were in an exclusive relationship, but clearly not. About a month later, in October of 2024, Jane Doe says that she was working out at the gym when Shannon Sharpe aggressively approached her. He comes over and tells her to sit down or he's going to end her life. Jane Doe's refusing to speak with him, and so he then allegedly forced her into his car, took her back to her apartment, and then without consent, engaged with her while she was crying and telling him to stop. The suit specifically says that Shannon Sharpe told her, quote, "I'm going to punish this. I'm going to make it so no man will want you again." A few months after this, in January of 2025, the lawsuit says that Shannon Sharpe told Jane Doe that he wanted to see her and that he had a combined Christmas and birthday gift to give to her, because he previously promised her one. So she allows him to come over, and when he did, the suit says that he undressed, and again, despite her screaming and resisting him, he engaged with her without her consent. And so she's suing him for assault and battery and emotional distress. And she's asking for $50 million. As of now, Shannon Sharpe has not responded to the lawsuit, and like always, these are allegations that have to be proven in court. It's also worth noting that this lawsuit references another Shannon Sharpe lawsuit that was apparently filed in New York last year and has similar claims, but I haven't read that lawsuit, so I can't speak to it. So we will see how this one plays out.
Mr. Buzbee did release this audio of Shannon allegedly threatening Ms. Zuniga that he will choke her.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
Oh, man. I mean, 56 and a woman in her early 20s from OnlyFans. I mean, you know, we all make choices. He's got to be regretting that one, I hope. I don't know.
The suit seeks more than $50 million in compensatory and punitive damages. In this video posted on X, Shannon called the whole suit a shakedown, accusing Ms. Zuniga's lawyer, Mr. Buzbee, of filing a fraudulent lawsuit and threatened to sue for defamation, saying, "I'm going to be open, transparent and defend myself, because this isn't right." Shannon's lawyer, Lanny Davis, in a statement, said, "The lawsuit, filed by Gariella Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney Tony Buzbee, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed." In her effort to extract a large financial settlement, Ms. Zuniga presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of a consensual sexual encounter, heavily edited and taken entirely out of context, crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. Ms. Zuniga has refused to provide a copy of the full unedited version of the recording to Mr. Sharpe's legal team.
In September, he had there was a live stream of a sexual encounter that went out. Different person, not this woman, but does he maybe need to take inventory of his operations at this moment?
Thanks for that question. I really appreciate it because I have a reputation in this type of media crisis of advising my clients to step up and tell it early, tell it all, tell it yourself, the mantra of a book that I wrote about my White House experience. The answer is yes. He has taken responsibility for the mistake he made about the live stream. He's taken responsibility about this relationship getting to the point where he should have seen the warning signs by her text messages.
She's very young. She was 20 when he met her. I mean, he's 56-year-old man. Like,
excuse me, 20 is an adult. I don't buy that.
Of course, but
I just simply disagree with the assumption that there's any age issue here. So 56-20, 56-40, that is not an issue in my opinion.
we all have shame. I think your answer is more than adequate. I think it's the only answer, Lanny.
I have to thank you. I do want to add or slightly modify what you just said. He feels no shame. He did nothing wrong. This was consensual. This was long-standing consensual behavior. When he moved to Las Vegas, she followed him there. When she invited him to her apartment, he had to go through several access points, and she was there to let him in. When they engaged in the sexual activity that she explicitly and many, many times asked him on the various text messages that are now the evidence we put into the public marketplace.
Yeah.
And he performed exactly consensually what she had asked him to do. She secretly taped him. And then she edited the tape. And we've called upon her lawyer, Mr. Buzbee, who's denying editing. Okay, then show the tape to an expert because you have nothing to hide. And guess what he has said? No. And he won't answer the media's question, well, why not? Are you hiding the editing?
Shannon's team also released a whole set of explicit messages as a move to set the record straight, suggesting quite a complex relationship among the two, dominated by a whole host of role-playing and financial arrangements, some of the texts proving that contrary to popularly claimed, consensual sex went on until January 2nd, 2025. One of the texts sent by Ms Zuniga read, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you are effing me." Another one read, "I know you miss this big juicy behind, 25k for each cheek." Another one read, "Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want with me." Yet another one read, "I wanna put my tongue in your hole and then marry you." And another one read, "That's my daddy, if I want you to put a big black baby in me." Another one read, "You better crave it cause you're gonna be stuck with it for life, after you put a big black baby in me." Davis continued, "These messages are just a sampling of a broader pattern of graphic sexual communications initiated by Ms Zuniga. The evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual, adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by Ms Zuniga. Mr. Sharpe now believes her secret taping was all part of her planned setup as part of her blackmail scheme, as distorted by her edited tape, a copy of which she refused to make available to Mr. Sharpe or his counsel.
Shannon Sharpe has 3 problems in his lawsuit. First problem, the age disparity. We're dealing with a 19-year-old girl and a 54-year-old man. Jurors are not going to like it. There's a power disparity there, and there'll be members of the jury that are mothers and fathers that will think like, God, if my 19-year-old daughter was dating some 50-year-old guy, so people aren't going to like that. Problem number 2. Jane Doe claims that Shannon likes to record the consents he does with her. Shannon got caught doing a little Instagram live. Now, he says it was inadvertent, didn't mean to, but I don't know how that happens. How do you inadvertently record yourself having consent with somebody? But problem number 3 is the recording that got dropped. It's this one right here.
I don't want to don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you said that one more time, I'm going to the shit out of you when I see you.
Not good. Not a nice thing to say to somebody, unless this is the relationship. There is something that really kind of puts that statement into context that Shannon makes. Text messages. Let's take a look at those. Put a dog collar around my neck and tie me up and do bad things to me. Kind of similar to choking. I know you miss this big juicy gyat. 25k for each cheek. Or how about this one? Jane Doe sends a text to Shannon with a photo of a woman all tied up. Tie me up like this and consent me with the F word. Then she writes to him, "It's okay, I have handcuffs. We can stick to those for now." Doesn't sound like somebody who's trying to avoid Shannon. And it puts all this pushing into context. Or this one. That just got my kitty wet. Tie me up and do bad things to me. I want like some hardcore 50 Shades action though. Feeling kind of freaky lately. If he says, I'm going to push you, but she's into 50 Shades and she's into getting tied up in handcuffs and putting a dog collar around her neck, it doesn't sound that bad. Then it sounds like this is their play. This is what they're into. I want to be used, Daddy, with an AB in front of it. Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then you can do whatever you want to me. I literally ate so much food, I look like I'm pregnant with your big black baby. Well, folks, sounds like Jane Doe doesn't just want $50 million. She would have loved to get child support on top of it. Those three problems, they're pretty much overshadowed by Jane Doe's text messages. I think they're going to settle.
Allegedly, Mr. Buzbee approached Shannon with the evidence from Ms. Zuniga and asked that they settle instead of the whole thing going to court and becoming public, but they didn't like the offer put forward by Shannon of around $10 million. According to BuzzWire Daily, Shannon offered Ms. Zuniga $10 million to withdraw the case before it went to trial, an offer which she declined, a phenomenon that has raised some serious eyebrows. Like, why would he offer to settle if he wasn't guilty? And here lies the problem.
Lanny Davis, Shannon's lawyer, admitted yesterday that before he arrived on the scene, Shannon offered at least $10 million to settle the matter in mediation with this woman. She turned it down. Never in my mind the logical move of a man. You don't offer a settlement. You saw what Jay-Z did earlier, right? Jay-Z got accused of something terrible. He didn't offer to settle. He went and mounted a massive counterattack. And ultimately, they dropped that suit, and now he's still pursuing this Tony Buzbee, same guy, same lawyer, to clear his name. That's sort of, to me, that feels like the way you behave when accused of something heinous. My question is, why would Shannon Sharpe offer $10 million to someone who is allegedly shaking him down?
Thank you for that question. It's amazing how many people have asked me that question, so you have good company.
Okay, but it's the obvious one. It's the one that jumps out at you. If someone accuses me of something horrible, I'm not offering them a dime.
So what's the definition of blackmail? Why do people who are talking about blackmail pay money? It's because what is about to be revealed was a private act that could embarrass them and their family and hurt their reputation and their business. So blackmail, by definition, is paying money when you're innocent. If anyone wants to look at the definition of blackmail, interview 1,000 people who've been in blackmail situations who pay the money when they're totally innocent.
Look, I call it like I see it. Listen, the voice, her voice on the tape to me definitely sounds like a woman who knows that she pressed record moments ago. I can tell you that.
Could I interrupt you on that? What we're now getting are these telephone recordings from Mr. Buzbee. This is after he broke off negotiations for this to be put behind Mr. Sharpe without telling anybody, including the retired judge who was mediating and trying the blackmail discussions. We were ready to, they approached us and we were ready to pay the money. And without warning, he filed a lawsuit and went public. And then all of a sudden he's protesting, well, why are they mentioning her name? Well, excuse me. She's accusing my client of rape. I'm going to mention her name.
Yeah.
And her name is Gariella Zuniga. And Gabriella is Gabby, Carly, and a lot of other aliases on OnlyFans, where she charges men to act out and to role play exactly what she asked my client, Mr. Sharpe, to do in explicit text messages.
My goal was to get this far in Hollywood and still have a virgin asshole. And never had sucked a penis. That was my only goal. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, cat.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends. And that's the truth of the matter. So I stayed away from that.
You see Jonathan Majors, what he went through, Marvel dropped him as soon as the conviction came out. And you were telling the
Hey, you saw that black woman come get his charge cut in half? Thank you, Megan Good. God bless you, coming to save that slave. If he'd had to be there by himself, he was getting all four. Guilty. She came in there, was just so beautiful, they had to knock half of it off. Bless his heart.
This dating thing. Because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
What you trying to say? What you trying to say? Mo?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Dang.
When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah.
Because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. Shit. Thought I was going to be scared. Yes, I'm talking. And I know an old gal, she'd be good to you. Her name is Elladora. Now, when you know somebody named Elladora, she's old school. Mm-hmm. Now, Miss Elladora told me to tell you. She said, I think he like red velvet.
Oh, I do.
I say, Miss Elladora, if he do like that, she said, you let him know I got something for him.
Yeah, I like
she
red
don't
velvet.
have no teeth. Come on, pick your glass up and clack for me. Come on now. These young gals will bite you. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, guess I gotta come on home.
Come on home, Shannon. And y'all stop putting lies out about my brother, because I was in my feelings when y'all said he didn't date black women. Y'all stop that shit. You stop it. Now, he might throw a white one in there every now and again. And it's okay. It's okay. Because sometimes, we ain't into everything. Yeah. We don't do everything. So sometimes Uncle Shay need a spice of life.
Yeah, see? There you go.
He need to go cross the street, but he always going to come back. That's all we said to you, Oprah and Tyler. Come on home. Come on home. Come on home. Come on home.
Shannon is about to sign a big contract, like $100 million deal. I'm wondering, and then this thing arrives days before these accusations. Is that deal in jeopardy, or is it going through?
We hope it isn't in jeopardy.
Are you concerned that the corporate climate is still, I don't know, squeamish?
So I don't blame any company for worrying about losing audiences, and the profit is the most important thing for any company, justifiably. It's up to Disney and ESPN to determine whether their brand and their company business is being adversely affected, even though it's a false and lying charge. So it's up to them, and I respect whatever decision they make. But I do want to say one fact. I like to just stick to facts, let other people interpret. The audience for ESPN is probably, according to the data, 90% men, and it could be women too. Women are falsely accused. The Me Too movement began because finally the New York Times and others helped tell the truth. And so right now, the audience on ESPN and sports fans who love Shannon Sharpe, remember him from the NFL, see him on television, see him yesterday on Instagram, they know that he's telling the truth. They know that he's a good man. And so it'll be up to the audience to really let
a good man who made it, let's be honest, a good man who made a dumb choice with a very young OnlyFans girl. Shannon, date a nice woman in her 30s. That's when if I'm his friend, I say, stop with the young OnlyFans girls. Just, you're asking for trouble. These are just,
so
I would say
he certainly has his regrets. The audience that watches ESPN is going to ultimately be the verdict here. And if they believe that a wrongly accused man in a setup and an extortion blackmail scheme should not be the reason why somebody is taken off the program because he was so popular, that's going to be a vote by the audience. I can't blame the owners or the ESPN managers if there's a backlash among his audience. I think that his audience will be recognizing the truth, a blackmail scheme. He went on himself and told the truth. And I'm hoping that the audience will render the verdict. I can't blame the owners if that isn't the case.
Would you say that, 3, 4, 5 years ago, this could be a problem because we had this thing of prosecution and the innocent before guilty was, innocent until proven guilty was out the window. We were prosecuting and putting guys away on accusations alone. Here we are. It's a different climate right now. And I hate to make a broad connection, but Trump kind of ushered that in. Is it possible that a man you don't like, Donald Trump, and his change of the climate will help Shannon Sharpe?
Well, I blame a lot of things on Mr. Trump, but I'm not going to blame this one on him. The culture of the social media and the culture of the presumption of guilt, contrary to our Constitution, which is the presumption of innocence, is we're a product of the media and social media who makes and reports the accusation of this woman. By definition, she filed a public case accusing somebody of rape. That's going to be reported by news organizations. No criticism. It has to be reported.